Hey, how's it going, guys? Just out here walking. Figured I'd make a little video, and what I'm going to do is we'll talk a little bit about a little bit more, I don't know, things that go on in my head that I think about, and I really only talk to my wife about, and my friends, I guess, but never say it really out loud to everybody, and maybe y'all can get a little bit more idea why I really want to try and do this little hike. So I'll get right back with y'all.
Am I gonna work there much longer? No, I'm not gonna work there. I'm a driver, I'm a winner. Things are gonna change, I can feel it.
Hey, there you go. So anyhow, just doing my usual like 10 miles a day. I really haven't been doing 10. Let me see, the other day I did 7 miles. Working out 3 days a week, trying to keep it light. I think one of the things I might have did last time, and I don't know if I mentioned this last time, I kind of overtrained maybe. And I put a lot of stress on my body before I even got on trail. So trying to keep it a little lighter. So those things I talk about, I don't talk about much. I opened up a lot to holy shit that I met on trail. He had we did over 800 miles together walking. I talked to him about a lot of things I normally don't talk to people about, but maybe this will help somebody. So, like I mentioned before, I had a 20 years service and quite a few, a couple deployments, like 3 or 4 deployments. But 3 like modern deployments, and I also did Kosovo, so I guess you could call Kosovo deployment. Not really happened there, but anyhow, I went through all the, I went through different ranks. So ranks are like your positions, like within going through the system, and you get a different perspective at different echelons of responsibility. So that might not even be rank. You might be, working up 1 or 2 positions. So I'll call it just a different echelon, like a different level of perspective. So you have the general lower level of echelon where, that's the war fighters, the guys, boots on the ground, they're shooting the bullets, they're doing all the knocking on doors, or doing the patrols, or doing the gate guard, or they're doing all the work. I'm not saying that higher echelon you don't do work, but you just do work in a different capacity. So in the deployments, I worked at that level to where, we're the guys knocking the doors, we're doing the patrols, we're going around, and had a pretty cool experience. Got to do a lot of different things. So my main job was artillery, so we shot a lot of artillery in Iraq. But we also got to train Iraqis. We did patrols, we did SKL, like small kill teams. We did like some stuff with the State Department. We had like we did a lot because it was a long tour. It was 15 months. So it was a long tour, so we got to do a lot of stuff, and got to see a lot of the country. It's just not a big sandbox. It's actually really beautiful. You can see the beauty in a lot of stuff that's there. It was industrialized country, and so I got to see a lot of stuff, all the way up in Kurdistan and all the way down south, left and right, Korean camps and German camps and Marine camps, and we were all over the place. It was a unique experience a lot of people don't get, and appreciate that. And that deployment, you really didn't, we got into a lot of engagements and a lot of IDs, and see a lot of things you don't want to see, and do things you never thought you'd have to do. And we didn't lose anybody like close, like within our platoon, or our battery had some guys injured, but we didn't really lose anybody. And then other deployment, that one was a little different. We did lose guys. You close, not just like guys that you're talking to the night before, asking them to cut your hair in the train, and you're cutting your hair and you're bullshitting, and they're getting ready to go back, and you're bullcrapping, and then there's not there. So you lost people, and then another deployment that wasn't that bad, but it's a different, it's like a perspective. So anyhow, get that all out of the way. My point is like, so you go and do your deployments, you might lose some guys, and then it hurts and it's hard. But the hard part also is you're staying in communication with a lot of these guys, and like I said, I have them call me, and they call up, and sometimes they're doing really good, and sometimes they're just in a really bad place, and been in them places, real, I say dark places, like you get through it, and so you get in kind of dark places and stuff. So you think you're getting over it, and you try to forget some stuff, not maybe forget, but like you try to keep it off your mind so you're not obsessing about things. And so I go into different echelons of power. So when I first did it, boots on the ground, going and doing stuff. Next time, a little higher echelon, you get to see more of the battlefield and understanding of the reasons why you're doing things. And then the next one, you're even at higher echelon, you get to see your whole entire battle space that you're using, and then you got to make decisions within that, your area of operation. You know what I'm saying? So you get a different perspective. So one, you're close to it, you get a little bit removed and a little bit removed, but you're not really removed, because you understand, if you keep in your head, that you were there at that level at one time. So a lot of guys do a few years, get out, go get their job and do their things, and a lot of them still talk about it, and they really enjoyed their time. And then I noticed with and this is all my perspective, is a lot of us senior guys, not all of us have that. Marines do. Marines are gung-ho. They could have did just boot camp and did 1 year, and they think that they're God's gift to Earth. It's just weird. It's kind of a different perspective. Like Army, I'd say, like, we're kind of, from my perspective, a little bit more reserved in how we do some. Sometimes you have gung-ho people, and I think Air Force and Navy are about the same as the Army. Kind of just reserved, not super gung-ho about it. And but I know it's okay to get to it. Is like senior guys like myself, a senior guy working at higher echelons, is when I was out, and I said, like I said, I try to not forget about it, just put it on the back, but you can't, because you have your guys, and they don't let you forget that you were in, and you lose guys while you're in, and it hurts, but it also hurts to where you're still losing guys. They're out, or they're somewhere else in their career, and then you hear, some such and such isn't with you no more. And I can see if it happened one time, or maybe even two, but I'm on multiple times where I'm hearing that, these guys are hurting. And I always want to, goes in my head, is if I could have just talked to them, or they're okay, maybe if I was there. And it bothers me, even after my buddies call me up, and don't let this stop you. I take on your pain, and I understand, and I do worry about you after you call, and that's why I give you'll see me call up a few days later, text your butt, make sure you're still doing good. But even years and years later, so the most recent one was probably this past July. And I had talked to him a little bit. He was having some struggles, and I had to go to rehab. He he was just struggling with life, and then he had gotten a job that was pretty awesome and that he was proud of, and it was just kind of surprising. And I don't know, that's just like the weight I feel sometimes, like taking on people's the hurt. And same time, you got to deal with your own shit that's going on, so that's just kind of a little bit of where I'm coming from when I talk. And maybe something I'll say will help somebody. And no, that's just not that guy at this level or whatever that stuff happens to, like even higher echelons, higher ranks, and like E7, E8, E9, it's okay. You have someone to talk to. You don't got to be that tough guy no more. You don't got to be the guy with all the answers. You can talk to somebody, and they're always out there. There's tons of places. There's always somebody you can talk to, and that's a good thing. They might be struggling, and you just might be that person they need to just let a load off a little bit on their chest, So, and that's all right. Yeah, that's a little bit of the place I'm coming from, A little bit more background is, I went through all the steps, I got grief a little bit later in my career. When I mean grief is like everything catches up to you. So I had soldiers. And eventually I got in a position I didn't have them. And so now the focus is on you. And that's when I ended up having to go get help myself. And that's okay. Keeps me where I'm at, it helped me be here, and being present and stuff and trying to work things out. But it'll be all right. So that's where I'm at with this hike. And the other side is, even though I said, I'm gonna go have fun and stuff, I still am competitive with myself. But I'm not gonna be competitive in the sense of I gotta be here at this time or this place at a certain time, but more of I want to complete a journey of however far it takes me. I do want to get to the end to figure out this madness and get a break from the madness a bit. And I'm recording it to try to maybe just, if you're there, it's gonna be okay and it's gonna be all right. Don't be afraid to talk to people. And I imagine this just doesn't happen, and there's just probably any kind of high pace, high stakes job that you might have that level of stress. It is when you look back on it, and I look back on it here and there, and I go, I don't know how I did it. How did I take on so much responsibility? Married, getting kids, trying to raise kids, doing deployment, trying to maintain their shoulders, making sure all the paperwork's done, ramping up for deployment, And we did wolf cats. Another shout out. Another reason probably we were real close is because we had a really short notice for a deployment. Like they had sent all the units out and they go, oh crap, we misplanned. We got to send another unit or another platoon out, and we were the platoon. I think we had like 18 days to, yeah, it was 18. Yeah, 18 days to spin up an entire platoon that had none of the training, deployment training, and go deploy and then build an entire fire base that wasn't there and get guns ready and build everything up. And this guy's kicked butt. Like, it was extraordinary feat to get shit done that quick. And everybody okay. I did get to pick the best ones. Some of them they made me take, but for the most part I got to hand pick the ones I I seen as being able to handle the mission. So that's really all I got. Just to give y'all a little perspective of where my mind's at on a lot of things. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue my walk. You guys stay easy. Peace.